What's good, y'all? It's your boy Afro King Media, and we are here with Joker, aka Jillian. I don't think you have used that channel in a minute. I don't know why.
Jillian, I don't even know.
That's the gaming channel, isn't it?
Something like that. That's a name y'all know about yet. Yeah. We'll get there soon.
We're not sponsored, by the way, but Glenwood beef jerky, the sweet and spicy.
Goddamn thing's expensive, boy.
Oh yeah, how much?
$87 a bag.
$18 for this, but yeah, this shit slaps.
That's good though.
We're out here in Houston still, and we never made a dedicated video talking about this, and so since I'm kind of uploading videos with better quality footage and whatnot, I want to talk about what it is like cosplaying as a person with Afro features in the cosplay community
and Afro skin. Don't forget the skin.
In Houston, Texas. We've been doing this since, let's say, 2017, 2018. And it's crazy because our first cosplay doing this was like an icebreaker into the community as well. Mm-hmm. And we didn't really show our faces with those cosplays because we were like, I think I went into it thinking that I wouldn't do it again. Like, I'm gonna put this mask on and nobody will know I did it.
More for fun, right?
And bro, it was the craziest thing. Like, people loved our cosplays. Like, we did Love is War. And
we did Love is War.
At the time, I was dating my my ex, and it was us three that were willing to actually do the cosplay, and it was 2 boys, 1 girl, and I think Love is War was just popular at the time.
It was a nice little rom-com show.
Yeah,
I like it. It's nice. Not up his alley.
Yeah, not really, but I think my ex was willing to do it, and we were like, man, it's 2 of us, and like the other it's 2 main characters are girls and 1 of them is boys. So we were like, how can we fix this?
Made the worst mistake of my life.
It might have been my idea, but I think I was like, why don't me and you cosplay the girls and my ex cosplays the boy? But we would be wearing Deadpool masks. I'm sorry. So I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if you've even mentioned this on any of the platforms, but due to the way that he grew up, he has what's called misophonia. And he's sensitive to things or sounds that sound like people smacking their lips.
So if y'all ever hear me say pineapple, it's because he smacked.
Yes. Yeah, so just for context.
I'm not going to twig out, but I'm going to randomly say pineapple. So if y'all hear me say that, that's why.
But back to the topic. Yeah, we cosplayed the female characters and my ex cosplayed the male character. And we were thinking that we were just going to be like there observing and everybody else there would be weirdos and nobody would know it's us and we can go back to our normal lives and nobody would know. Yeah. Bro, let me tell you, we barely even made it through the hallway. Bro, that cosplay was a hit. Like, bro, we had professional photographers wanting to get photos and videos with us. Everybody was wanting to take photos with us. I think some dude tried hollering at you. And he heard your voice and you were like, huh?
Oh, no.
But
hey, bro, I'm a dude, bro. Move around.
After that, and this will play into our experience as people with Afro characteristics cosplaying in the community, because this is before we even exposed that we were, Afro people.
Yes. Remember, all of this is happening while we have a Deadpool mask on, by the way.
So Deadpool being one of America's favorite superheroes from the Marvel series.
Superheroes a stretch.
Yeah, he's more like a comedic relief or anti-hero. Mix that with some of the most popular animes out at the time, like Demon Slayer, Love is War. We did Dr. Stone at one point. I'm surprised we didn't do that again. That shit was a hit too.
Yeah. I liked it, me personally.
And it was just a hit every single time we went out. And this was probably what got me wanting to keep going into cosplay, because we were just the hit of every event we went to, no matter what.
Remember at one,
and then this continued even after we exposed. Well, not really exposed because we didn't really care about it, but
we even did a Persona. I think I did Persona. Like, we did like Christmas photos. We went like downtown Houston. It was nice. It was a good experience.
Yeah, and we met all sorts of people. We had Airbnbs with random cosplayers, and then
mind you, this is 2018.
And this is around the time where
2018.
yeah. And this is around the time where we're like hitting 21 and stuff, so we're starting to like get into drinking alcohol and mix that with like getting to know other people. It just makes for a good environment to socialize with people.
Yeah.
And for more context, this is still kind of, this is like in the middle of peak COVID somewhat too, kind of gearing into late COVID, because people were still wearing face masks. People were still having rules about how many people could be in like one spot at one event.
Yeah.
We didn't care. Like in my head, I'm like, if I get sick, I'll just do what my mom told me to do: drink my ginger tea, sleep, and eat. I was fine. Survival of the fittest, natural selection. Let me not say that, but because messed up for those who actually did pass away from COVID.
Right. Go ahead and apologize. Come on now. Give him a.
Unless you voted for Trump, then you deserved it.
Here we go. Well, they wouldn't have. No, they probably would. He was still in office at the time.
Yeah, because 2016, yeah.
Okay.
Is when he got voted into.
You're right.
And I don't remember what was it might have been a Deadpool cosplay. That might have been the first time we actually started venturing out of wearing the Deadpool mask, just for funsies. And even then it was still a hit because we would do like the Deadpool thing. Not the Deadpool, the Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I would be Tanjiro with the blue Haori, and you would do Zenitsu.
That was my son, best boy.
And then my ex, I think she tried doing the Inosuke.
She was Inosuke.
Yeah. So we definitely played into doing group cosplays because that was what people like to see the most, is people who collaborated doing group cosplays.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't the only ones doing it either. I think that sort of contributed to the cosplay group meetups that they would have at the convention, where they would schedule on like the NA Matsuri app.
Yeah.
Hey, we're having this cosplay group meetup here. Come take photos, videos, make content, whatever you want to do. Now, whenever we started, I've been yapping. How would you,
I mean, I would pretty much
with the mask on. How was your experience?
I would go along with what you were saying. It was really nice. It was just like not really like a joke as in something in passing, but just kind of like we're going to this convention. I've been to a convention at that time in Texas, but it was Onicon a long time ago. So I think Anime Matsuri was probably our first convention in our friend group going together. Excuse me, and who wants to go to the convention and why not cosplay? You know what I mean?
I think the first time I went to Anime Matsuri, I didn't even cosplay. I think my closest thing to cosplaying was like, I wore like a suit and had like a umbrella with a katana handle.
So
that's when I met my ex too, actually.
So me, that was my second Texas convention, because my first one was Onicon, and I went with my little brother, my older brother. I went with like Ethan and all of them. Like we went, and there was no cosplay. That was like my first time seeing it. That was my first time, technically my second time going to a Japanese anime convention, because I went to Anime Expo when I used to live in California, but I was like young. Like I saw some dude in a Spider-Man cosplay, and that was Peter Parker to me. You know what I mean? I was like young, so I didn't understand I thought that was like the superhero meetup, anime meetup spot. But as an adult, that was the first time I went was there, and I saw all the cosplays, and I was really interested in seeing it, and it looked really nice. So when I had a chance to go with friends again to Anime Matsuri, and that was my first time going, and I heard that was the big convention, I was like, why not put something on? Why not? You know what I mean? Like,
it was his idea.
So
to initiate,
we figured that out, like you said, and we put the stuff on. I didn't mind it. You know, it was fun. I didn't know it was going to be as big of a hit because it was janky. I mean, we Amazon Prime some random bootleg masks.
Cosplays back then, even sometimes now, were really like,
it was spooky. You just had to get whatever. It was like scratching off the lottery. You might have gotten something good. You might have not gotten something good. I remember my Senku wig showed up the day of Onicon, and it was terrible. It's like they shoved it in a damn mailbox, and it was bad.
Yeah.
We literally was in the car waiting for the wig to show up, and as soon as it showed up, I opened it up, I showed them, I was like, yo, look at this.
Hey,
come on,
it was still a hit though.
It still worked because
people, it was the point of cosplaying wasn't even to be perfect, because people knew exactly who you were. But
exactly.
So
at that point, we weren't elitist. I don't think we ever were, but it also fit with the Deadpool scheme, because Deadpool is like a troll character. So if we showed up and the wig was flimsy and didn't do nothing but just make it that much more funny.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was really nice, and I did enjoy going with my friends there, and we met a lot of people. I don't think that was the intent, was to make we didn't come up with like a DXA brand until after the first, like when we got back from Anime Matsuri, we sat down. We was probably at his house, I'm pretty sure. That was like
man,
that was like the meetup spot. We were pretty much at his house, and we was like, man, we might need to make an Instagram or something. Because we had a couple of people ask we tried to go to some panel and we went through the main floor. We started on the right side of the building and the panel was on the left. We had probably like 30, 40 minutes
the panel
to go to the panel. We didn't make the panel because like we took a couple of pictures, but like right near the half point, we got stopped and then everybody just kept, we were in pose for like 20 minutes plus, bro. Like it was not bad, but it was like, damn, like
you would have thought the convention hired us or something.
Just because of how goofy the idea was, and we thought that it was really cool. The Deadpool X anime, we were obviously nerds, and Deadpool kind of transverses, multiverses, and stuff like that. So it worked, and it was nice for the beginning. I think that it was nice for the beginning. I forgot the word for it, but I think it was nice because it's kind of like that new feeling that you get for something. It's kind of like if you go on a roller coaster the very first time, it feels amazing. But after like you go on there multiple times, you're just on the elevator. You're on the roller coaster. That's your homeboy?
No.
You're just on the roller coaster, so it doesn't really feel that crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, okay, well, I've been on here. So whatever that feeling is for the first time, that's kind of what that feeling was for cosplay. It was really nice. I would say at the beginning.
So mask off. So I want to say maybe around 2020-ish. That's when we started doing more cosplays without wearing the Deadpool mask. We're meeting other people who are wanting to do different types of cosplays. And so eventually we had to take the mask off because it just wouldn't fit the theme.
Yeah, of course.
And this whole time we're meeting new people almost every time we're out cosplaying. So like that dopamine hit is hitting, especially when you're vibing with these people. With the mask off, that stuff, here's one of the first things you'll experience as, I'm gonna just say black person, cosplaying an anime character, is that most of the characters you're gonna cosplay have straight hair. Even though most of the anime characters have hairstyles that they wouldn't be able to have in reality, black people should have, like, it just looks weird. And so it didn't happen until maybe like 2023 where I started just incorporating, or 2022, I grew dreadlocks. And so that made it easier because I would just like use hair color spray on my hair for whatever anime character I was trying to cosplay. And so that made it a little bit easier for me. And for him too, like if he was cosplaying Zenitsu, just use yellow hair color spray. Yeah. And it worked out fine. Perfect. That's mom.
Okay.
And now, and that's just in terms of cosplays. Now, when it came to I guess this would be like the main portion of the video, interacting with people who are not black versus interacting with people who are black. I could say with a whole heart that I had way more fun and experiences with people that looked like me versus people that didn't look like me. And I don't know if it contributes to them feeling uncomfortable around us or because they're just boring people. But for some reason, in my opinion, I think people that look like us were just always more fun. Well,
I think it's an interesting topic because that's not to kind of cancel out. There were some people that obviously weren't black or of color that were fun to hang around. For sure. And
best believe, if these white people weren't showing up to these events wouldn't exist. Yeah. Because they're the ones spending the money.
It was still, I think that it was because of once we started taking the mask off and we started when we were at the Deadpool mask aspect of it, everything was kind of restricted. Not even just looks, but like even most conversations, like they saw us as a group. We weren't as branded. We were just like those three people that showed up in the Deadpool costumes. They were cool to see, take pictures of, hey, ha ha, hoo hoo. But it wasn't as intimate, I guess you can say, as when you take the mask off and you start talking to people and start understanding names. Like we might have known some certain cosplayers here and there, right?
There were some parties we would go to, conventions, where we wouldn't even take the mask off. We would just like drink the alcohol.
Yeah,
like
some
that.
people really just and it was still cool.
That was
cool.
tryharding.
It was still a cool bit for sure. Cause I think that might have been the first one we got invited to as a group was during the Onicon, and the people that was literally, that's before we even put the mask on. We were walking and they were like a couple of doors down. They're like, "You going to the con? Yeah. Hey, you want to come to our party later?" And then we showed up in Deadpool masks. They were like, "Oh!" Once it, I want to say, got more intimate, I can see what you say by that, but I think it's because a lot more of those people understood or went through similar struggles, if that means, like when it comes to being around.
And we wouldn't even talk about it. And we would definitely notice how when we're around people that look like us, they'd be like, it's more fun. But it's not something that we directly talked about, like how we're talking about it right now.
I think it's because of the understanding of how, and I'm not saying that in a sense to where everybody was like that in the community, because there were some people that were actually really cool that didn't have to be, you know what I mean, black or something like that. There were some people that were really nice. We even had a conversation with somebody recently who's also black, and she was saying, like, you know, it just felt weird, especially like when people like us stopped going and she was still going to these places. She hung, and in her defense, she did say even the people that looked like her were still acting a little bit weird, but a majority, like, it was just interesting hanging around the people that didn't look like us and how that dynamic was. At first, since we were all still doing the DXA thing, there was never an instance where I would be the only like black person. Does that make sense? Because even if we got invited somewhere and there was majority non-black, we were 3 deep. It was me.
We had enough melanin to bounce off of each other when it came to
or when the group first kind of stopped, I guess you can say, or took a break rather, because I don't think anybody really truly stopped.
No.
That's when I ended up.
I think at that point we got to actually experience what it's like being in the community without having that energy to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And we had to be on the other side of the pole, seeing what it's like being around people of different races, mostly white, some Latinos here and there, a lot of Asians specifically, for sure. But one thing that was consistent with all of them, and it's that they don't really have the same energy that we have when we're trying to party, like, or just not even party. It doesn't have to be crazy.
I wouldn't even say necessarily just party. I think just in general. But you gotta understand that I wouldn't even fault them too much for that. That's just upbringing at certain points in time. Certain people deal with different things.
You know, a lot of them are truly introverts.
Yeah, and it's understandable. I had hung out with a group that was very interesting, but to be honest, other than me, I was the only black male in the group. I'll tell you that much. And there was a black girl that was there, and she was really cool, very sweet, and non-surprisingly, she was the only actual nice person in the group. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just that group specifically. I'm not saying that happens everywhere else. You know, that's just an interesting thing. But I got to see there more or less.
You can't help but notice the confirmation bias.
You can walk by somebody and have that first interaction, and then somebody can go, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Like, I like your cosplay." Like, in that space, there's a lot of socially awkward people. So a good way to start conversations with them or anybody is obviously anime. That's kind of what everybody's wearing. It, like, if I don't know who this guy is and he's dressed up as Vegeta and I know what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is, it's easy to start a conversation with them. Obviously he knows, or at least I hope he does, right? Because he's dressed up as it. So like she's doing stuff.
We were trying to use this platform to we were trying to convert exposure into money, essentially. Yeah. We didn't really have a clear idea on how we wanted to do it, but we knew we needed to gain followers and have a page so that these so companies would take us seriously.
Yes.
So if they wanted to pay us to bring exposure to their business, we can do that. We have the followers on Instagram to prove that. And so that was what we were trying to do before the group kind of split apart. And when we got back together, it was kind of on that same energy. We had our own individual pages, but we knew the goal was the same, to get followers and exposure so companies would pay us to bring that exposure to their company. Yeah. And as we continue to do that, the events got weird at some point. I don't know. It's a combination of many things. It's a combination of anime getting more popular. And so people are beginning to come to these events. The crowd is getting younger because it's it's something similar to cartoons in terms of animation.
Mm.
And so, of course, kids are going to like it, and then they're going to find out about these events and want to go to it. And these kids are weird as hell. Like, they're on some freak shit sometimes. I'm talking about the minors. Like, they're in adult spaces that they should not belong in. And there are freaks, like freak dudes, that are there to take advantage of it. It's a bunch of weird energy contributing to the reason why we slowly create a distance between us and the community.
I wish they would have done what Anime Frontier did the first time they had it, where one, obviously it was during COVID, so everybody had to show up. There was a line, like you had to have like submit general information before you actually walked in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like what would have been really nice is to have conventions do a little bit like that, where you ID, you do all of that type of stuff. Like, and obviously some people are like, oh, why you got to give out your information? Look, you want to go to the convention, you do that, and you give out wristbands.
You're in the U.S. The FBI knows what freak furry porn you're watching.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, bro.
You give out wristbands. Different colors mean different things. Adults, what do you call it? Then you have, or you give it out when they get their badges. If you don't want to do wristbands, that way separate badges of certain things. That stops the people that are not supposed to be in certain places from going to those certain places. You have your 18 up places, your 21 and up places. You have your levels to certain things. Obviously, in the 18 plus places, this is going to be different than the 21 plus places, because the 21 plus places might involve alcohol. I know they would sell literal shots in certain spots, like at the convention, and they, to their credit, they would ID you there. Like, they wouldn't just, oh, you got the adult man here.
That doesn't stop that one friend who's 21 and up from buying 3
exactly
shots.
That one dude that's 22 that has a bunch of friend groups, or a friend group with a bunch of 18-year-olds. That's not going to stop him from getting shots and going right around the corner. And you know what I'm saying? But if you make it to where either wristbands or badges can strictly show you all that type of stuff, it's a little bit easier to manage. And I don't think cons do that. But I think with the frequency of weirdness and crazy stuff that happens at conventions, because you got to realize, again, a lot of these guys are not the most like socially.
But these are people that probably went from having no attention to gaining attention
a lot fast.
And that dopamine gets them acting weird, I guess.
I think there's a good way to manage that. I hope so.
And these are people that are watching anime, and there's a lot of cool anime. There's a lot of weird anime.
Some crazy stuff going on in some of these shows now.
And like these shows are influencing the likes and dislikes in terms of like what morals you have, what friends you keep around, and what sort of things you're sexually attracted to. And all these play a part in how these people come out into these events and act and treat people. And as much as I liked hanging out around the people in the community, like a lot of these people, the weirdness kind of just made me distance myself from them. And a combination of that and real life things like working and
of course,
stuff like that. So it's not just one thing that contributed to why we're still kind of like, if we're not even, because the only cosplay event I've been to in the past year was DreamCon. That's the only one.
And I don't even count, like, that's a convention, and it feels a little bit, it's different in my opinion because it's a lot of us there.
Yeah, it's a convention
so it feels
for people
nice.
That look like
But that's very specific because throughout the year you get one of those. If you want to get another one, you got to go like venture out. Throughout the year, there's a lot of anime and comic conventions, but not specifically one for us. And again, I'm not saying that you should specifically only go to the ones that's for you. You know, there are places. It's not like they're going to ostracize you from going to the Comic Con that's around the corner. No, there's going to be other black people there for sure. But
I don't think we've ever had a racist experience at any of these.
Not from any event itself. From some of the so-called cosplayers, but from the event itself, no, they don't genuinely. No.
And a lot of the events that we went to weren't actually conventions. They were more like meetups, pop-up events.
Yeah, that's because of COVID.
I think those were a lot more fun than the actual conventions we went to because it was the community was more involved. You weren't like looking for panels or anything. You were going to these events because a bunch of other cosplayers are there. So I think that's what made it more of like a social event. At a convention, you got a bunch of panels you want to go to. You want to go buy stuff. You want to go meet voice actors. And mangakas. There's a bunch of stuff to do at conventions. Whereas this pop up. You'll have some restaurants here and there, but the tents have some stuff you can buy, and you're walking past a bunch of people and a bunch of cosplayers, and everybody's wanting to create content for Instagram and YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah, of course.
Which contributed to just making the whole event more social than a convention.
It's unfortunate because obviously our instance, we can't speak for everybody. You know, there's going to be some people that had worse situations than we have, or better. I think it's interesting here
because that one I can't remember her name right now. I'll put her up on the screen. The one that ended up taking her life because of online racist bullying.
And that's, I guess you can say that's one of the more goes without saying obvious things that you deal with when you are, obviously when we're doing the Deadpool thing, you don't really get it because we always get mask on. But once you had, like we had our own individual Instagram, I'm not going, I took all my cosplay stuff down.
I have different pages here. So.
I don't even know. But at that time, now me, and I'm not saying that I'm using this as an excuse from where I'm from and just the stuff. We get roasted all the time. I don't care about some words on the internet. I'm not trying to downplay it as something because I know some people are dealing with things and that's understandable. Mental health is real. But it never affected me, but I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen. Oh, it happens. And you definitely have some people in that comment section that'll say some crazy stuff, but then at the same time, you'll have some people in the comment section that you don't even have to defend yourself. Some people will go in there and eat them up for you. I've went viral on Reddit a couple of times with posts with me, him, whoever. And of course, you have people on Reddit,
all sorts of stuff,
keyboard warriors saying whatever.
But there will always be people ready to defend me before I say anything.
Not that I would, anyways.
So don't think that everybody in the community is bad, because there's plenty of people that will defend you as a.
There are definitely some good people in there. I'd feel like if you go in there by yourself, it's a little bit more difficult finding that group. If you go in there with a group of friends and y'all are all interested in joining, it's a little bit easier because no matter what happens, you at least have your guys, if that made sense. At least, like I said, with us, we went in as a group of 3/4. I mean, some of our other friends would show up, so we had some people. But no matter what or where we were, like he said, we can feed off of each other's energy if whatever was happening wasn't the move. So that it's an interesting spot. I think that Houston definitely has a lot of anime everywhere because it's a huge city. It's one of the probably might be number 3 as far as most anime. And Los Angeles and maybe New York beat it, but other than that, like Houston is a big space. It has a lot of anime. There are some good people out there. You just got to meet the right people. You got to, understand.
I would say to conclude this, I would say some advice that we can give. Whenever you're coming into this space as a person that looks like us, I would say get comfortable with just mixing the character you're trying to cosplay as with your physical identity. Don't be afraid to just wear an afro and color your hair, or even an afro wig. I think plenty of black people nowadays are especially they started the trend years ago already. On mixing the anime character with how people physically look as with Afro characteristics. And so definitely don't be ashamed to show what you really look like in these cosplays. And don't be afraid to speak out, because it can make the difference between someone taking their life and someone keeping it. You can make a lot of genuine friends out here. Just
lifelong
being kind,
friends.
bro. Just being kind.
And if you ever are on the 2-man with your homie and the girl is in H Mart screaming at the top of her lungs about something that ain't the move, cut 2-man off, mud. We ain't gonna get into that, but that's just, if you see the red flag, it's a red flag for a reason.
You call it out, because you might hang with this person for like a few months straight and you just enabled their behavior, like
because you were purposely trying to ignore it. Hey man, there's a whole lot of fish in the sea.
Yes.
That was spooky.
There's a lot of simps out there too. We're talking about for black people.
Let's try to keep it black. Hey, there's black simps out there too. Hey man.
Yeah. Well, when you see people that look like you, do not be afraid to reach out, because they'll be on the same frequency as you.
You're
only black person at an event. They're the only black person at an event. It's like y'all, like skin resonance. y'all walk into each other and it's just energy. So don't be afraid to
Yes, just like everything else.
Yeah.
Just don't normal human conversation. Don't be weird, and just be yourself unless yourself is weird. Well, I mean, we're all weird in a sense.
Definitely. I'm weird as hell.
Yeah, obviously, right? But yeah, just be yourself, bro. Be yourself. Have fun.
Beyond that, stay hydrated. Look out for the next video. This is going to be the format that we will from now on. We start having videos. Might not always be in a parking lot, but parking lots do make a good spot for having conversations without interruptions.
Yeah, until the police come and kick us out.
Yeah. But beyond that, y'all stay hydrated and stay black.